Kansas City-based Hallmark Cards, Incorporated. During our discussion of potential new markets and products, a team member conceived of the cell phone greeting category, a quantum leap in its concept of format, delivery, content, and every other attribute of a greeting product. This breakthrough effort has already been launched in its first two markets under the newly formed subsidiary Crown Greetings Limited. Despite our focus on creativity, we do not preclude the requirement for other types of thinking, such as those that are more rational and analytical. These have their equal place in the strategy process, as we will explore later. Discipline is essential, both in the thought processes involved in strategy and in its execution. For example, it is not easy to craft and implement a plan that may include hundreds of projects and thousands of sub-projects as the prerequisites to strategy implementation. Difficult, too, are the needs to ensure consistency of decision-making throughout the organization, keep focused when so many options are available for consideration, and regularly to monitor, review, and update strategy when operational or financial imperatives are knocking at the door. Nevertheless, leaders in a number of organizations have reaped rich rewards from the passionate belief in a disciplined approach to setting and implementing strategy. Labor, strategy for survival. It's not often that an organization's failure to implement a powerful strategic vision could lead to its extinction in a single day. But in 1994, that's exactly what the Labour Party in the United Kingdom was up against if it failed to win the next general election. Labour had not governed Britain for 15 years, and it had been defeated in 4 successive general elections. With the next election 3 years away, another defeat might have spelled the party's end. Such a result, the demise of not only a major political party, but also the core of the nation's labor movement, was unthinkable. Tony Blair, the newly elected party leader, inherited a long-buried landmine. As a whole, the party machine was poorly staffed, badly managed, out of money, low in morale, and lacking respect in its 650 parliamentary districts around the country. Under Blair's 3 predecessors, it had achieved only marginal, reluctant change. Above all, the machine lacked a coherent vision of its role in both the Labour Party and the labor movement as a whole. Quite rightly, Blair was convinced that Labour would remain unelectable without a radical, strategic transformation he dubbed modernization. The word meant much more to him than it implies. To support his political vision, nothing less was required than the most efficient, modern, motivated, disciplined, responsive, and proactive electoral organization in the world. Within days, Blair invited Tom Sawyer to become the party's general secretary, a chief executive equivalent. With a background in trade unions and a close familiarity with labor, Sawyer had links to both direct stakeholders, party members, members of parliament, and the structure nationwide, as well as to unions, cooperative societies, and socialist and social democratic parties in other nations. Sawyer had mused with the author that some of that strategy stuff might make an excellent launching pad for his leadership. As far as possible, he and his top team used the 5-phase model for strategy formulation and implementation described throughout this book. Their task, crafting and implementing a strategic vision within a political party machine, was no less difficult than it would be in a multi-billion-dollar global enterprise. At Labor headquarters, Sawyer was forced to think carefully about getting the right team in place. Before formulating strategy, many of those in senior positions, especially with long years of service, had found it tough to think strategically, and even tougher to do so in a team environment. Few had experience in what Sawyer called modern management tools and techniques.